What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Jakks specific Boom Boom figure from Wave 33. Yes, I did say Wave 33 because somehow this wave was out before 32. At least in my area, I didn't find 32 yet. But it's weird because there's like 3 different waves that's out at the same time. So bear with me because the reviews are going to be all over the place. But we do have our very first Boom Boom 4-inch action figure. So let's go over the packaging so we get an open window of the figure. So Boom Boom is coming with the coin. So that's going to be his accessory. But this packaging is the same way. So we got Mario, the logo up there. Boom Boom, your warning, then Jakks specific. Here is the side. Then the other side, it just has his name in the bottom. And then here's the back of the packaging. We get a render shot of the figure, a bio read right here, and then it has 11 points of articulation. And then these are the other figures that's included in this wave. So that is pretty much the packaging right there for Boom Boom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this out of the packaging and take a closer look. Alright, so here's the figure out of the box right here. So right off the bat, I'll say this: if you own the 2.5-inch figure, it's very similar to that. It just has added articulation. Of course, it's a whole lot bigger, but it also has some more details in the paint job, really. So for example, the head sculpt is really the exact same way, but the paint might be a lot cleaner. Like, they painted the nose this time, but the shell is also a whole lot cleaner too. You know, there's some shading around there, and the white paint you know, for the spikes here is a whole lot cleaner too. So let me actually bring in the 2.5-inch figure so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, the head sculpt is really the exact same way. The nose is painted this time, and then here is how the shell is. You can see there was like no shading around here, and you know, that's usually how the 4-inch figures and then the 2.5-inch figures are. They just have more details and more articulation, and they're really just a whole lot, you know, bigger. But sometimes they will have different head sculpts and stuff like that, but this one is going to be the same. But you know, Boom Boom, I did like the 2.5-inch figure, and I like the 4-inch figure. I think it's actually a pretty good one. There is a huge problem I have with it, which we will get into, but you can't see this is a really nice looking Boom Boom figure. So for the articulation, you finally get a head turn this time, which you couldn't do with the 2.5-inch figure. Just keep in mind though, when you do turn at the head a bit more, there is going to be a gap between here, because it looks like it doesn't really want to turn anymore since it's like hidden the shell right there. So just keep that in mind. You get a full rotation in the arms, which is nice because Boom Boom usually, you know, he'll just kind of spin his arms. You know, he'll like wail his arms back and forth, really, so that's nice. Hinge at the shoulder isn't the best. Now that's a huge issue right there, because Boom Boom would usually spin around. He'll have his arms, you know, like wide out like that, and he'll spin. So you're not really going to be able to do that with this figure. So the hinge isn't the best. Along with the butterfly joints, so you do have that. As you can see, it goes forward about here, back about there, but it has the same, well, I don't want to say it has the same problem, but if you want to bring this arm forward, you're not going to be able to do this, because if you do that, as you can see, it just shifts it. So that's the weird thing about these butterfly joints that they do here, if you can really call it that. But the 2.5-inch figure, it didn't really have that problem, which is weird. See, I was able to have the arm go forward, and then I could still do the same thing with this. You know, his knuckles would be touching, but you know, I was able to really do that with this figure, and I can't really do that with this one because it's not gonna move, and then it'll shift that arm back. So that's a bummer right there. And then the wrist, you can swivel. There is a hinge right there. For the legs, not a whole lot. I can barely really move the leg. Like, it goes up about here, you know, back about there, and you can like turn it like that, but not a whole lot going on there. The feet, you can swivel that, but it has that same hinge with like Bowser Jr., for example, with the feet. So you have that going on. The tail has a little bit of movement, but not a whole lot, and you know, it's really pointless trying to move it anyway, but I can like move it slightly. And that is pretty much the articulation for Boom Boom. So yeah, it's really the exact same way, just has more added articulation. It definitely could have been a whole lot better, especially with the hinge to the shoulder. I wish that was, it can, you know, I wish I had a whole lot more range with that. But this is all you're going to get. Standing this guy isn't much of a problem. You know, I can have him stand fine like this. And, you know, even if I want to have his arms up, I would have to like position him up like this. And yeah, see, there you go. The guy can still stand even with the, you know, his arms in the air like that. And you know, his arms are huge, which they should be. You know, Boom Boom does have, you know, big arms and fists, so they definitely did nail that right there. Now for your accessory, of course he does come with a coin. You know, I guess that's okay because I can't really think of what else he would have came with. Now here's the huge disappointment about this figure. So let's do a quick size comparison. So we're gonna add Luigi right here. We're just gonna add Mario and Luigi right here to compare, and look at how small Boom Boom is. Now this is a huge problem because, let me actually put my camera a little bit more. But the reason why this is a huge problem is because Boom Boom's like a big guy, you know. He should definitely be towering over these guys. It's crazy how small they made him. And I know, like, you know, their scaling is always off, you know. And I know they have to keep it in the 4-inch range. But, you know, this is still, like, no excuse. This guy is way too tiny. You know, Boom Boom's a huge... he's technically just a giant Koopa with muscles, really. Not like Bowser size, but... he has some girth to him, you know, like he's a big dude. I'll try to find some images so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, Boom Boom is way too small. Let me take Mario and Luigi out. I'll even compare him with like some enemies. So here is like, you know, a Koopa Troopa and then a Hammer Bro. And even these guys are a whole lot, I mean not a whole lot taller, but they are still taller than Boom Boom. Like, you know, it just makes Boom Boom not look like a threat to them, you know. So that's the disappointment about this figure, is like it's way too small. And I'm actually a little worried because if they make Pom Pom, I have a feeling she's gonna be in this exact same size. And you know, Pom Pom's a big Koopa as well, you know. She's the same size as Boom Boom, so that's gonna worry me right there. Alright, so here's another comparison right here. So here is Boom Boom with some of the other Koopa kids. And here's another comparison. So here he is with Bowser, Bowser Jr., and Kamek. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Jakks specific 4-inch Boom Boom figure from Wave 33. So it's definitely a great looking Boom Boom figure. The articulation could have been better. Paint job seems to be pretty good on mine, and he doesn't seem to have a hard time standing when it comes to posing, so that's good. But the biggest drawback on him is definitely the size. He's just way too small, so that's underwhelming right there. But let me know, what do you guys think about the Boom Boom figure in the comments down below. If you want to pick this figure up, it is currently hitting Target and Walmart. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the review, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Take care, my friends.